What's up, everybody? Once again, my name is Matt, and welcome to Let's Play Star Fox 64 3D. Yes, there are a lot of numbers in that title, but you know what? It doesn't matter because I am so very excited to be playing this game for you guys. Like, it is one of my all-time favorite games. I have so many fond memories of just playing the multiplayer with all of my friends as a child, and you know what? I'll be completely honest. I didn't really have too much experience with the single player of this game as a child because, well, I never actually owned a Nintendo 64. I know, it's kind of sad, but as soon as this game was released on the Virtual Console, I picked it up almost immediately and just played through like the entire campaign, and it was just a blast. And when they remade it for the 3DS, I was like, I have to get this game because honestly, this game has stood the test of time very well. And if you can, I would encourage you to play along, whether it be on Virtual Console, emulator, or even on the 3DS, because this game is just a blast, and I guarantee you, if you've never played it before, you'll enjoy it. Anyways, now that you've got my personal recommendation, and you've met the main cast, Slippy, Falco, Fox, and Peppy, what do you say we take a look at another thing you'll be seeing a lot in the game, the R-Wing, aka the All-Range Fighters. And I've got to say, I really do love the design of the R-Wing. Like, it came out of the technical limitations of the N64 not being able to make such a high polygon model, but it still looks cool as heck, and I think that is just like a testament to Nintendo's design team. Anyways, here we are on the main menu. Now, before we go any further, if you guys could go ahead and leave a like rating, I would greatly appreciate it, as it does help out a ton. But now that that is out of the way, what do you say we get to the game's main story?
Corneria, fourth planet of the Lylat system. The evil Andross turned this once thriving system into a wasteland of near extinction. General Pepper of the Cornerian army was successful in exiling this maniacal scientist to the barren, deserted planet Venom. 5 years later, General Pepper noticed strange activity coming from Venom. James McCloud, Pigma Dengar, and Peppy Hare of the Star Fox team were sent to investigate. Upon their arrival, Pigma betrayed the team, and James and Peppy were captured by Andross. Peppy barely escaped Venom and returned home to tell James's son Fox about his father's fate. A few years have passed. Andross has again invaded the Lylat system. General Pepper has turned to a new Star Fox team, headed by Fox McCloud, to save Corneria and free the Lylat system once again.
Alright, so here we are in the Lylat system. And as you can see from the overworld map, there are a ton of different planets and different paths. Now, I will actually be playing every single level in this game on this playthrough, but I'll talk more about that later. For now, what do you say we take on the first level, Corneria?
It's about time you showed up, Fox. You're the only hope for our world.
I'll do my best. Andross won't have his way with me.
Oh man, there are so many memorable lines in this game, and the characters that say them are even more memorable, so you guys are in for a real treat, honestly. But welcome to Corneria. And my gosh, this game looks so much better on the 3DS. Remaking it was one of the best things Nintendo has ever done, I swear. Now, if you've never played Star Fox 64 before, basically it is an on-rails shooter, as I guess what you could classify this as. So what that means is there is a predetermined path that is set for you for each level. And as you're going along that path, your goal is to shoot down enemies and, of course, do other various objectives that may or may not be set in front of you, like taking down bosses or, you know, hitting switches, stuff like that. You'll see as we go along here. Something else I do want to get out of the way right now is that the characters will be talking a lot throughout this entire playthrough. And while arguably that is one of the reasons why I love this game so much, I can't possibly shut up every single time the characters talk. Well, because there are certain levels later on in the game where the dialogue is almost like 24/7, like they do not stop talking. So I do apologize if at some points you can't always hear what the characters are saying. Now, Peppy, you do bring up a good point. A major thing about this game is actually team management. And what I just picked up there was actually a laser upgrade. I'll talk about that in a second. But what I mean by team management is essentially that. So often what will happen while you're going through the level is sometimes your partners will get chased down by enemy bogeys, and it's your job to shoot them down. If you don't, your partners will take a lot of damage, and if they take too much damage, they can get shot down. Now, if they get shot down, what happens is they will spend the next level in the repair bay, and you won't actually have them join you, which is kind of a bad thing, so you want to avoid that as much as you can. Now, these silver and gold rings that I'm picking up, these silver ones restore some of your HP. If you collect 3 gold ones, well, it'll actually double the length of your shield bar or your HP gauge, which is pretty dang nice. There's also a few different maneuvers that you can do, like boosting, braking, barrel rolls, which is what this game is sort of infamous for, or at least a dialogue line, and then doing a loop-de-loop, stuff like that. And you use these maneuvers to either give chase or lose enemies that are on your tail, because occasionally an enemy will come up behind you and try to shoot you down. Speaking of which, let's actually give chase after Falco, since he sort of got himself into a little bit of a jam, so let's just shoot this guy down. And yeah, Falco's not exactly the nicest of our team members. He's kind of a jerk, but he does mean well. But I did just get another laser upgrade, so let me finish my thought on that. Like I said before, there are 3 stages of lasers that you can get. You start out with the single laser, then after your first upgrade, you get the twin laser, which allows you to shoot 2 laser bolts at the same time. And then after your second upgrade, you get the hyper laser, which allows you to shoot 2 blue bolts at the same time, and those do even more damage. Anyways, that about does it. I apologize again for all the explaining, but it is the first episode, so I'd rather just get all this stuff out of the way now, rather than wait until later. But, good news is we are approaching the end of the first level already, which is kind of awesome. Although this was the easy path, so not really too hard. This game is kind of easy, even on the harder path. Alright, so now we're switching into all range mode, and what that means is basically we have full control of where we go. There's no predetermined path anymore, so we can go left, right, up, down, you know, wherever you want to go as we take on this first boss battle. Now, to make this boss even easier, do what I did and just shoot out one of the legs as soon as you get into the battle. Then the boss will literally just stand in the middle of the field and can barely do anything to you. I think all he can do is like shoot missiles at you, which are easily avoidable. But I believe what you want to do in this boss battle is actually shoot like his little back, so I'm going to try and turn around and do that all at once. Since I do have the hyper lasers, this guy should go down pretty easily. Oh my gosh, look at that damage. There we go. That was really, really easy. So that does it for Corneria, or at least the easy path for Corneria. And I'll talk more about the paths that this game has per levels once we get back to the map screen. For now, though, let's just enjoy the fact that we completed the first level of Star Fox 64. No need to be worried, Slippy, we were fine. Yeah, Slippy's probably the most annoying of your team members, but you know what? He is essential, and you'll see why a little bit later on. And wow, Peppy actually took a lot of damage, which is kind of bad. You do want to keep an eye on your team member's shield gauge, because it only gets repaired so much at the end of each level, and you want to make sure it's as high as possible. Alright, so now that we're done with that, it's going to go and put us on the easy path. Now, generally speaking, the easy path is the lower set of planets in Star Fox 64. The harder path is the upper set of planets. In the middle, obviously, are the planets in the middle of those. Now, the easy path will take you to the end as quickly as possible, but you won't get the true ending. The hard path will take you to the end of the game, give you the true ending, but of course, the levels are a little bit harder. Now, there are different levels that'll warp you up in between the 2 different paths, but for now, let's head back into Corneria. That way, we can show off the hard exit. So, I'll see you guys in a second. Alright, so here we are back in Corneria at the checkpoint. Now, more often than not, to get the alternate exits in Star Fox 64, you have to do some pretty weird things, like sometimes you'll have to save one of your party members, or get a certain number of points, finish a boss off quickly, or do a certain flight route, and those are just some of the things they have to do to get the alternate routes. Like, for instance, in Corneria, step 1 was actually shooting those enemies off of Falco. Pretty easy, right? Something you would normally do on maybe your first playthrough even. But step 2 is a little more obscure than that. Basically, you want to keep flying until you hit these weird things sticking out of the ocean, then fly low and fly through all of them. This will trigger some new dialogue from Falco. And if you keep it up, well, check it out. Now we're going to follow Falco as he chases that big giant ship. And this is pretty much taking us on the alternate path for this level. And we're actually going to battle a completely different boss, which is probably one of the coolest things about the alternate paths, is that there's just so much content in this game. And if you think about it, it's pretty crazy that like all of this was built into a Nintendo 64 game. But yeah, that's pretty much all you need to do to get on the alternate path for Corneria. Now, of course, as we go through every single one of these levels, I will explain how to get all the alternate paths and show those off, just so you guys can decide which path that you want to take if you do play along.
Incoming enemy from the rear. Drop altitude.
Yeah, and Peppy's right. Make sure you stay low here because the boss is actually going to fly over you, and you don't want to crash into him for no reason. And oh man, this thing is huge. It's an attack carrier, but don't worry, it is just as easy as the other boss. Basically, what you want to do is every single time he opens one of his flaps, just shoot inside those, and it's really easy. Although this isn't actually doing damage to him. That's because this boss has like 2 different phases. Like in phase 1, you gotta shoot off all of these like weird flap things, and after you do that, you can actually start dealing damage to the main body. Now, if I do this fast enough, I might actually be able to kill this guy before he has a chance to turn around and shoot at me. Oh no, I was so close. Normally, if you press A fast enough, you can kill him really quick, but apparently, I am just bad. Yeah, we're Star Fox. We'll see about that. Anyways, so that completes the hard path for Corneria. And what's nice about completing the hard path in each level is that you now have access to both the easy path and the hard path, and you can choose from the main map which way that you want to go. So if you can, I would always recommend going for the hard path, just so you get that option.
I'm fine. You okay over there, Fox?
I'm fine, Falco, don't you worry. And yeah, see, everyone's at full HP. That was a much better run of this level, and we got an extra life, so that is always good. Alright. So, with that, we have gotten both exits that exist inside Corneria, and now, as you can see, we're going up on the hard path towards Sector Y, but on the bottom screen, you guys can't see it, but we also have the opportunity to select Media, which is the easy path that we would have gone to before. Anyways, I think that is going to do it for this episode of Star Fox 64. If you guys enjoyed this part, a like rating would be greatly appreciated. If you want to see more, consider subscribing, but once again, guys, my name is Matt. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.